Last episode, I promised you something that annoys people. Here it is. Almost the entire cost of this claim was avoidable. Not with a change in policy, not with a bigger deductible. With a $20 part most people have never heard of. I am going to show you the claim and then the part itself. By the end, you will never look at your washing machine the same way. I am a field adjuster. This is a real house, changed just enough to protect it. Call them the Bishops. It is not their real name. Their laundry room sits upstairs next to the bedrooms. That is common now. Builders like the water source near the hampers. Behind the washing machine, 2 small rubber hoses feed it water. One hot, one cold, both about 10 years old, both original to the house. Nobody in that family had ever looked at them, not once. Tuesday morning, they left for work like any other day. The washing machine was not even running. Sometime that morning, the cold water hose split open. The line stays under full house pressure at all times, running or not. That is the detail almost nobody thinks about until this happens. Water poured out for roughly 6 hours before anyone came home. Their son got home first from school around 3 in the afternoon. He said he heard it before he saw it, a steady dripping sound. He walked into the kitchen to find part of the ceiling on the floor. Water was still coming down through the light fixture above the table. I got the call that evening and was there the next morning. The laundry room floor was soaked through to the subfloor. Below it, the kitchen ceiling had given way in one whole section. Drywall does not hold water. It becomes paper and gives up. The insulation above that ceiling was soaked and had to come out too. Water had tracked sideways into a hallway closet as well. The cabinets under the laundry sink had swollen at the base too. Even the hallway carpet had wicked water halfway across the room. Mold risk goes up fast once drywall stays wet for that long. So part of the scope was drying equipment, not just repairs. Industrial fans and dehumidifiers ran in that house for 4 straight days. By the time I finished the estimate, we were well past $10,000. Before any of that math matters, one question comes first. Is this even a covered loss in the first place? Most homeowners' policies use a phrase for this: sudden and accidental discharge. A hose that lets go without warning generally fits that description. A slow drip you could have noticed for months does not. That second kind falls under wear, maintenance, and neglect instead. Carriers generally will not pay to fix a problem you let sit. The Bishop's hose gave no warning. It simply split, sudden, covered. That one distinction decides more water claims than any other rule. So watch what happens to their number start to finish. Full estimate first, just over $10,000 in damage. Their deductible was the median again, $1,000. Depreciation on this one is small. Drywall and flooring age fast in claims math. Call it $800 held back for age. $10,000 minus $800 minus $1,000. A little over $8,000 landed on their first check. Finish the repairs, send the invoice, and the $800 comes back. You already know that mechanic from the roof claim last episode. Now here's the part I actually want you to remember. That hose is called a supply line, and it is everywhere in your house. Under every toilet, behind every sink, behind the washing machine, behind the refrigerator if it feeds an ice maker or water line. Most of them are still the original rubber the builder installed. Rubber hardens and cracks with age, and pressure never lets up on it. There is usually no leak at all right up until there is a burst. That is why almost nobody replaces one before it fails. The fix is not complicated and it is not expensive. A braided stainless steel supply line replaces that soft rubber hose. Steel mesh wrapped around the inner tubing, built to resist a burst. They run about $20 each at any hardware store. Installing one takes a wrench and about 10 minutes of your time. No plumber required for most of these, though you can call one. Compare that to the Bishop's claim. $10,000, a torn open ceiling. $20 in 10 minutes against $10,000 and a torn open ceiling. That gap is the whole point of this video. So if it is that cheap, why does almost nobody do it? Because a working hose looks exactly like a failing one. There is no dashboard light, no warning sound, no visible wear most days. People replace things that show damage. This shows nothing until it fails. I have written this exact claim more times than I can count. Same rubber hose, same age, same total surprise on a random Tuesday. It is one of the most common water claims I see. Supply line failures show up across every age of house, not just old ones. A 10-year-old hose and a 20-year-old hose can both let go the same way. New construction does not buy you any real protection here. It is a part, not a house feature, and parts wear out on their own clock, and it is one of the easiest ones to have prevented. So here's your 10-minute homework, room by room. Walk into your laundry room and look behind the machine. If the hoses are black rubber, plan to swap them out. Walk into every bathroom and look under each toilet tank. That small hose connects the tank to the wall valve. Look under every sink, kitchen included, at the shutoff valves there. If your fridge has a water line, pull it out and check that hose too. Any hose that is original rubber is a candidate for replacement. Braided steel ones are often marked as 10-year or lifetime rated. Even those benefit from a quick look once a year. There is a second habit that costs nothing at all. Know where your main water shutoff valve is right now today. If a line fails while you are home, that valve is your whole response. The Bishops did not know theirs. Most people I meet do not either. Find it and put a piece of tape on it if you have to. Some newer homes even have a smart shutoff that senses a leak. Those can close the valve automatically before you ever get the call. That is a bigger project than a $20 hose, but worth knowing about? Back to the Bishops because their story does have an ending. Ceiling repaired, flooring replaced, insulation redone, all within about 6 weeks. Invoice sent, and the held back $800 came home. Total out of pocket for them was their $1,000 deductible. Total time without a working kitchen ceiling was most of a month. The father told me the same thing almost everyone tells me by the end. He said he had walked past that hose 1,000 times. He just never once thought to look at it. I want to be honest about where this coverage stops too. If that same hose had been visibly cracked for a year first, different story. A slow, known leak you ignored moves toward maintenance and neglect. Carriers can and do deny claims that trace back to neglect. The line between sudden and gradual gets argued in claims constantly. Photos and a clear timeline matter more on water claims than almost any other kind. When did you first notice it? When did it actually fail? Those two answers shape the whole conversation with your carrier. Some carriers also ask about your last maintenance or inspection date. That question is not a formality. It decides sudden versus gradual. Nobody wants to be guessing about that answer after the ceiling is down. So here's the annoying part I promised you at the start. The most expensive common water claim in a house is preventable. Prevented by a part that costs less than a large pizza. Prevented by 10 minutes most people will never spend. Nobody budgets 10 minutes for a hose that looks completely fine. Everybody eventually budgets 6 weeks for a ceiling that is not. That trade is not close, and almost nobody makes it in time. I am not selling you anything here. I am just the one who shows up after. So before anything drips, do 3 things this week. 1. Walk the house and find every rubber supply line you own. 2. Swap the old ones for braided stainless, $20 at a time. 3. Find your main shutoff valve and know it before you need it. None of that requires a policy change or a phone call to me. It requires 10 minutes, a wrench, and doing it before the Tuesday it fails. I am a field adjuster. I write claims like this every week. This channel covers the mechanics, not advice on your specific policy. Check your own hoses and ask your own adjuster your own questions. Next episode covers wind-driven rain, and one rule most people get backwards. The wind has to make the hole first, before that water even counts.